Yes, looks like I'm actually live this time. I don't know if I went live or not on my iMac. I felt like I was just talking to nobody. If I put the live chat on, is the live chat now on? Live chat is now on. Hello everyone. I do apologise if I am a little bit late, okay? I don't know whether or not that video has now just saved or not. I went live on my iMac, and it said that it was streaming, but I don't know if I actually was streaming or not. I don't know. I'm just going to go and nab Buddy for 1 second. Because Buddy has decided to move over here. And I'm going to have Buddy with me. Right. Okay. Come here, you. Come here, you. You can say hello to my YouTube viewers and stuff. Yeah, here's Buddy. Got Buddy with me. So there we go. I'm gonna sit him down like this. But yeah, anyway, so I am now live, thank goodness. So first of all, hello, hi everyone. This is me live on YouTube. You know what? I can't remember. I think the last time I went live on YouTube must have been back in 2019. So this is my first live that I've done since then, really. So scary, isn't it? Very scary. But what can I say though? Apart from this is the Apple event after show. So coming up in this video, I am going to discuss the products that was announced at the Apple event earlier today. I am also going to give you my thoughts and opinions on those Apple products as well that was announced today. Before I do that though, I just want to very quickly talk about some other bits and pieces. First of all, the Disney Plus Day Live event. If you follow me on this YouTube page, then you will know that I was going to do a Disney Plus Day event tomorrow night, Thursday the 8th of September at 6:30 p.m. I have moved that now to Friday instead, okay? So that just gives me a little bit more time to watch some movies and obviously gather all the news and announcements that come out of Disney Plus Day tomorrow. Okay, so there will be updates throughout the day from Disney Plus as to what shows, what movies and stuff are coming up over the next few months. But I'll talk about that 6:30 p.m. on Friday, and then on Monday next week I will talk about everything that was announced at D23. So expect announcements along the lines of Marvel, Star Wars, Disney, Pixar, yeah, all of that. I'll go through all the announcements and I'll give you my thoughts and opinions on all of those announcements as well. Right, this is though the Apple events. So obviously the Apple event took place earlier today. So it took place 6 p.m. UK time here in the UK, where I am. And it finished around about 7:30. So it was about an hour and a half long, this Apple event. So I thought I would go through some of the announcements that was announced at the Apple event. First of all, what I do want to say is that there was only 3 products that was announced at the Apple event. I was kind of expecting a little bit more than that. I was kind of expecting there to be the iMac Pro, maybe another new iPad, maybe? I don't know. But I was definitely expecting there to be a little bit more. So, whether or not later in the autumn, maybe around about October time, something like that, we might get another Apple event, I don't know, and they might discuss a little bit more about some more products coming out, then that would be great. But in the meantime, though, we have got what we're given right now. And I'm going to talk about those products right now, and obviously I'll give you my thoughts on them as well. But before I do go into that, though, I just want to say a massive thank you to anyone that is watching this video either live or on the replay. Really appreciate it. Okay, so all eyes are on Apple as it unveils new iPhones at its September 7th far out launch event. But there is some major upheaval in the smartwatch department as well. Apple has finally lifted the covers from its new lineup of smartwatches, starting with the vanilla Apple Watch Series 8. Not much has changed in the design department. The only major upgrade that's been rumoured is the new temperature sensor. Apple says the new smartwatch is swim-proof, crack-proof, and dust-resistant, but hasn't elaborated if there is any specific upgrade over the Apple Watch Series 7. Full detection, sleep tracking, and mindfulness are all part of the package, alongside sensors for blood oxygen level measurement and heart rate tracking. So the biggest upgrade is a new temperature sensor. There are two temperature sensing modules, one at the back and another one just underneath the display. Hello to Damon, by the way. A very good evening. A massive thank you for joining. Really appreciate it. But yeah, so there's one at the back and another one just underneath the display on the front. Apple says the temperature sensors record a value every 5 seconds as you sleep, and it has an impressive sensitivity of 0.1 degree centigrade as well. So once enabled, you will see nightly changes in temperature values. Tracking the ovulation cycle is at the center of it. Also, if you are a woman out there that is planning to start a family with your partner, then obviously this is definitely going to be an ideal thing for you. So yeah, and it's just gonna be really, really ideal for a woman, I think, if she wants to track her periods or her ovulation cycle and stuff like that. It's going to be ideal for women. But all the data, though, if you're worried about the data behind all of this as well, this is where this is very important for me to outline here. But all data is stored in an encrypted form and hidden behind a layer of biometric security. Apple says the temperature data linked to ovulation cycle tracking capabilities can help predict health issues like polycystic ovary syndrome, PCOS. So, you know what, right? I will say this as well. There were some very truly inspiring stories, and I said this earlier on Twitter as well, that there was some really truly inspiring stories about people and how they've come across some health conditions that they didn't even know that they had, which they were able to pick up thank you to their Apple Watch. So there are stories out there of Apple Watches saving people's lives. So you know what, right? I tell you what, this would just make just a very inspirational, like, you know, I don't know, maybe someone could I don't know, not saying this in like a really bad way, right? But someone really could sell their story about how their Apple Watch saved their life, and it could just be turned into a movie or something, you know? I don't know, but I would actually watch that. I actually would watch that, because it'd just be so interesting to watch. Maybe it could be a movie based on the Apple Watch, but the entire movie is shot on, like, the iPhone or something. I don't know. It could just... I don't know, it just could be. But, I could see that happening. I really could see that happening. But, it is very truly inspiring, though. The stories that have come out, of people that own Apple Watches that didn't know that they had any of these hidden health conditions, which they've actually managed to pick up thank you to their Apple Watch devices. So, some really, truly inspiring stuff there. But going back to the Apple Watch Series 8, though, the other major upgrade coming with the Apple Watch Series 8 is a car crash detection feature. Now, obviously, this is something that nobody ever wants to be involved in, of course, and Apple were very... they pointed that out quite a lot, that nobody wants to be in that situation. Nobody wants to be involved in a car crash. But these things do happen, sadly. But this feature is going to come very, very useful and very handy if that situation ever occurred to you in life, okay? But the car crash detection feature has been tested on a wide array of vehicles with over 1 million hours of practical tests done. So Apple says it can detect 4 types of crashes: front impact, side impact, rear end collisions, and rollover. Okay, which normally are the 4 types of crashes that you do get anyway when it comes to a car crash. So, which is great. It automatically connects with emergency services, shares the location of users in distress, and gets them critical help in time. The system comes to life courtesy of a couple of new motion sensors and an updated accelerometer that can sense the precise moment and magnitude of an impact. So that's really, really good there. That is really, really good there. That, you know, it is very life-saving on that one. But also as well, and I'm just gonna like skip over to this bit here, okay? During the iPhone 14, I'm not sure if it was the iPhone 14 and 14 Plus or iPhone 14 Pro or Pro Max, can't remember now, but they showed 2 trailers. In one of the trailers, it had the iPhone 14, and it was like docked onto someone's windscreen. Presumably, they were using it to obviously get them guidance, like if they're going on a journey, they're probably using the maps and stuff like that. This was unrealistic. Okay, unrealistic. I found this to be very unrealistic here. But in the trailer, when they showed the iPhone 14, they showed the iPhone 14 in a car crash. And obviously, you see the car crashing, and the iPhone is still docked in the on the windscreen of the user's car, and it's still intact. It's not smashed up. It's not broken, which I would normally think you would find in a car crash. Your phone could like just pop off the windscreen, especially if it was in a rollover. Yeah, it was just very bizarre. Very, very, very bizarre. Anyway, am I still... I think everything's alright. I'm hoping I didn't lag out there, because it felt like I was just lagging out a little bit. But going back, though, going back to the Apple Watch Series 8. So, the Apple Watch Series 8 offers an all-day 18-hour battery life. But there's a neat trick this time around. Apple is bringing a low power mode, so which can take the Apple Watch Series 8's battery to last as long as 36 hours. So you get 36 hours of battery life if you have got it on low power mode. Low power mode will also be available on the Apple Watch Series 4 and later models. Running Watch OS 9, which obviously is the next big Apple Watch update. The Apple Watch Series 8 is also bringing international roaming to the cellular models. It supports 30 carriers across the globe, and all you need to do is add the watch to an iPhone's roaming plan at almost no extra cost. There are 4 colours to choose from. So you get midnight, you get silver, starlight, silver, and product red, and 3 materials that include aluminium and more premium stainless steel options. So at the moment, I've only got the US pricing. Obviously, the UK pricing and other international pricing will come at a later date, and that is still yet to be confirmed. But pricing starts at $399 in the US for the GPS model, while the cellular variants will set you back by at least $499. Pre-orders are now live. They are available now. And the Apple Watch Series 8 will be available starting September 16th in the US. Excuse me. In the US and other markets as well. Okay, so that is the Apple Watch Series 8. There is also the Apple Watch Ultra, and it is the most exciting and strangest Apple wearable in years. So Apple is introducing an all-new Apple Watch model. It's called the Apple Watch Ultra. It is geared toward fitness enthusiasts and extreme sports fanatics. So the Apple Watch Ultra goes up against the sports-focused Garmin's of the world and does so with an extreme price tag. So the rugged Apple Watch Ultra features a water-resistant rating of 30 meters and lasts more than a day, thanks to the bigger form factor, which packs a larger battery. It also comes with a shatter-resistant display packed into the titanium casing. The Apple Watch Ultra is the largest Apple Watch to date at 49 millimeters, with a screen size of just under 2 inches. And it is the brightest display ever on an Apple Watch. The Apple Watch Ultra is made out of aerospace grade titanium and is corrosion resistant. You get a new action button, which is customizable and gives you quick control for a range of functions. Apart from that, the digital crown is larger and designed to be used while wearing gloves. Apple Watch Ultra gets a second speaker for increased volume and 3 microphones for voice clarity, even in windy conditions. So that is also really, really awesome. The new Apple Watch Ultra can last up to 36 hours on a single charge and up to 60 hours using low power mode. Low power mode for the Apple Watch Ultra, I do believe, is going to be coming at a later date, later this year. That's what they did confirm earlier in their Apple event. So the new, so I've done that bit there. But watch faces have been improved as well to offer the most technical watch face yet, called Wayfinder. It includes a compass on the dial and can be customized for mountains, oceans, and trails. The Apple Watch Ultra gets a night mode where the display turns red for better visibility. So the new action button can set off an alert up to 600 feet. There are 2 new bands as well, including the Ocean Band and the Trial Loop. The former has a titanium buckle, whereas the latter is Apple's thinnest band yet. The company is touting the Watch Ultra as packing the best GPS on any sports smartwatch yet. It also comes with new precision, dual frequency GPS, and new algorithms. The action button instantly transitions from one leg of the race to the next. There is also a new feature that detects when you arrive at an end point of your race. As for endurance, the bigger battery makes a huge difference, as it makes sure that your Apple Watch Ultra lasts for the duration of long distance triathlon without losing GPS or heart rate. The location of your trailhead or tent can be quickly added using the action button, waypoint, if you are hiking it. It uses GPS data to retrace your steps, which automatically turns on when you go off the grid. The Apple Watch Ultra gets a built-in depth gauge and displays durance underwater and duration underwater and water temperature. It is certified to EN 13319, the standard for diving. Apple is collaborating with Hoish to make the new Watch Ultra a dive computer for recreational scuba diving up to 30 meters. There is also a new Oceanic Plus app for the device. Dive metrics are simple and easy to read. Give me 1 second. I'm just going to grab Buddy. There we go. I've got Buddy back again. Buddy is joining me. Buddy, are you going to stay on with me? Can you stay on and just maybe do the Apple event with me? Is that okay? Can we do that? Yeah. I mean, all you got to do is just show your cute face on camera. Okay, that's all I ask. Is just show your cute face on camera. That's all we need. Okay. So dive metrics are simple and easy to read, and you can constantly track dive parameters as well. Unlike most dive computers, which require a complex sequence of buttons, this app uses simple gestures like the digital crown or action button. So the Apple Watch Ultra at the moment, again, I've only got the US pricing for it, but the Apple Watch Ultra is priced at $799 in the US for all models, and it will be available starting September 23rd. Okay, so we have now got a look at the AirPods Pro, because obviously the AirPods Pro 2 was announced, and this is one of the main features that is going to be coming to the AirPods Pro 2, is that it will use your iPhone camera to examine your ears. It's pretty awesome. That is pretty awesome. But today, Apple announced the new AirPods Pro at its Far Out event, a little less than 2 years after the originals were first unveiled. They'll cost $250 in the US, the same as the first generation AirPods Pro. They'll go up for pre-order on September 9th, so that's this coming Friday, and ship on September 23rd. And they'll include free engraving as well. So the new AirPods Pro come alongside the Apple Watch Series 8, Apple Watch Ultra, the iPhone 14 and 14 Plus, and of course the all-new iPhone 14 Pro. So the broad strokes of the new AirPods Pro, or AirPods Pro 2, if you will, remain the same. They're still Apple's high-end true wireless earbuds. They still sport active noise cancellation, ANC, and transparency modes. They still connect to anything that supports Bluetooth with nearly seamless handoff between Apple devices, and they still pack a ridiculous amount of tech and sound quality into a tiny space, all charged by the pocketable case. So the second generation AirPods Pro mostly keep the same look and design, while iterating on the features that made the original such a hit. That includes, first and foremost, an upgraded H2 processor with advanced computational audio. That's the brain that makes everything else happen. Basically, that's the simple terms to put it. It's the brain that makes everything else happen. The sound and all of that. Okay, it's all done through this H2 chip. And one of those new happenings is personalized spatial audio. So that'll work in conjunction with your iPhone and iOS 16, using the front-facing true depth cameras to look at your ear and adjust things accordingly. Will that make a big difference? We'll just have to wait and see. But either way, it's a feature we haven't really seen anyone else do just yet. So Samsung haven't done it yet. No other major mobile phone technology company out there has yet done this. This is the first time that any tech giant has done this, and it's in the form of Apple. I'm sure other tech giants out there, Microsoft, Samsung, maybe Huawei, all of those major tech giants out there, they will probably follow suit eventually. But we'll see. We'll see what happens though on that one. But there's also a new low distortion audio driver. Now I've just dropped my mouse. But yeah, there is also a new low distortion audio driver. Apple says to better render the bass in the tiny buds. And a new extra small ear tip will help things fit that much better. So noise cancellation and transparency modes are also what have helped make the AirPods Pro so popular. And they're getting an upgrade too. Adaptive transparency mode promises to do exactly what it sounds like. Adjust the transparency depending on what it hears going on around you. And Apple promises 2 times the noise cancellation over the first generation AirPods Pro. The charging case is getting an upgrade too. The biggest change probably is the addition of Apple's Find My feature. So, which works in conjunction with other Apple devices to find a missing device within just a few inches. So there's also a speaker built into the charging case as well. So it'll be even louder when you ask it to make some noise to help you find it. So if you are someone out there that does lose their Apple charging case, for example, or you can't find it, it's nowhere to be seen in your room, then you will be able to make your Apple AirPods Pro charging case make a sound so that it is a bit more easier for you to find your charging case. It's such a good feature. I think that a lot of these sort of wireless earbuds charging cases do need. And I think this is going to be it going forward into the future and stuff like that. Because, honestly, I do think that this is going to be required, for sure. So, there we go. The case still charges wirelessly. But it also now will work with an Apple Watch charger or other MagSafe chargers. In addition to a standard QI charger. So, if you've got like a wireless charger for your smartphone or something like that, then the charging case will be able to charge through using that as well. Overall, Apple says the new AirPods Pro offer up to 6 hours of listening time from a single charge. That's 1/3 better than before. The charging case gives you 30 total hours. That's an increase of 6 hours. So beforehand, of course, you were only able to get 24 hours on if you were to use the charging case. Now you got 30 hours, so that's 6 hours better improvement than the last generation for sure. And yes, there's now a little loop for a lanyard as well. So there we go. So that is the Apple AirPods Pro 2. Okay, we are now going to move on to the iPhone 14 and the 14 Pro. Okay. So I should imagine that this is going to be quite a lot of information here. So I'm going to talk you through all the information that I've got here for the iPhone 14 and 14 Plus, and then obviously going into the 14 Pro and 14 Pro Max. After I've gone through the iPhone 14 and 14 Pro Max and stuff, I will give you my thoughts on the Apple event, and I'll give you my thoughts on some of the products that was also announced at the Apple event as well. I do apologise. I do have to keep drinking some tea as well throughout this video, so I do apologise. But anyway, let's go in to the iPhone 14 then. So the iPhone, let's start from here actually. So Apple's New iPhone 14 models are here, having been revealed on stage during the company's Far Out event held in California. It's set to be a big year for the iPhone, with not just the new iPhone 14, 14 Pro and 14 Pro Max ready to tempt you, but also a larger version of the normal iPhone 14 called the iPhone 14 Plus. So the iPhone 14 has a 6.1 inch screen, while the iPhone 14 Plus has a 6.7 inch screen. But otherwise, share basically the same design with flat size and a dual camera in the back. Apple says the larger screen lets you read more text or view it in a larger font. The phones are made from aluminium and have a ceramic shield protective glass over the screen. Both use Apple's A15 Bionic processor, the same that was used in the iPhone 13 Pro. While the cameras on the back have been updated, it's a new 12 megapixel main camera with a large sensor and pixels, along with an f1.5 aperture. It's joined by a 12 megapixel wide angle camera and a new 12 megapixel front camera with autofocus and low light photography improvements. The iPhone 14 and 14 Plus also come with a new emergency SOS over satellite feature, where the phone will be able to send emergency messages without a signal using satellites in the sky. It'll even let you share your location using the Find My app. The iPhone 14 will cost $799 in the US and be available to pre-order on September 9th, then released on September 16th. The iPhone 14 Plus will be out a little later on October 7th and will cost $899. Now, of course, I must add this here, that the iPhone 14 Plus is also available to pre-order from Friday this week, September 9th. So let's now take a look at the iPhone 14 Pro and 14 Pro Max. So like the iPhone 14 series, the 14 Pro has a 6.1 inch screen, and the 14 Pro Max has a 6.7 inch screen, but with thinner bezels and a more active screen too. The notch has been replaced with a pill-like shape that is part of a new feature called Dynamic Island, where the section holding the true depth camera morphs using software to show additional information on the screen. So the iPhone 14 Pro models have an always-on screen, a first for the iPhone, and are powered by the new Apple A16 Bionic processor, which is built using a 4nm process. The triple camera on the back has a new 48 megapixel main sensor that's 65% larger than the one fitted to the iPhone 13 Pro. It's joined by a new 12 megapixel wide angle camera, and each has upgraded low light performance. Plus, there's an improved macro mode and a 12 megapixel telephoto camera. Both phones also come with the SOS emergency satellite feature, plus crash detection seen on the new Apple Watch Series 8. Now, what I do also need to say here, and this is very important that I let you guys know this here, is that Apple have revealed details on the emergency SOS via satellite feature, okay? So you will be able to get the emergency SOS via satellite feature available on your iPhone devices. It's going to be free for iPhone users for the next 2 years. They're going to start rolling this out from November, and I'm sure it'll be rolling out internationally at a later date, but for the time being, it's only being rolled out in the US and Canada. So prices remain the same as last year, with the iPhone 14 Pro starting at $999 and the iPhone 14 Pro Max at $1,099 in the US. You can pre-order them both on September 9th, ready for release on September 16th. So there we go. There is also another thing as well. This is also very interesting. Now I'm going to go through this one in a second. But this is also another thing that I was going to say. What was I going to say? I was going to say something about the iPhone 14 Pro. Now it's just gone completely out of my head. So I will try my best and think about what that was, and I will get back to you on that, hopefully before the end of the video. So there we go. I'm seriously now trying to think what the other thing was that I was thinking of. It's just gone complete. So I'm just gonna quickly run through the stuff that wasn't really announced at the Apple event today. So we didn't get the 10th generation of the iPad, sadly. We didn't get a MacBook Pro 14-inch, 16-inch announcement. Didn't get any updates on the iPad Pro neither. We didn't get any updates on the Mac Pro or Pro Display XDR neither. The Reality headset, we didn't get any updates on that. The HomePod 2, no updates on that neither. The iMac Pro, even though it's been teased before, but we didn't get an update on that neither. So there we go. There is that. I'm just trying to find out now if I can actually think about. Oh yeah, no, that's what I was going to say about the iPhone 14. This only applies for people watching this video if you're in the US or something, but obviously normally with mobile phones you do get like a SIM card tray. You normally put your phone, like your SIM card, into your phone, you know, but for the US models they are now going SIM card free, and instead users in the US will now be using a eSIM for their mobile phones. Now, obviously, I didn't really get a full understanding of the eSIMs because obviously I'm not in the US, so therefore this doesn't really apply to me. Also, as well, not so much of today's event really did apply to me that much, but for the purpose of this video, for the purpose of this live broadcast, obviously I did tune in and watch the Apple event because obviously I was curious to know what the new iPhone 14 was going to be like, and I was also curious to know what other devices were going to be announced at the event because I didn't have any idea what other devices were going to be announced. So I gave this a watch, and yeah, and obviously I didn't really think too much about the US models and stuff like that. So if you are in the US watching this video right now and you need more information on eSIMs, feel free to go to apple.com. I'm sure they will give you full details on the eSIM stuff, okay? I'm sure eventually it will come here to the UK where we will have a SIM card free smartphone, and instead our SIM cards will be digital, similar to the US. So, but until then, I'm not too worried about eSIMs and stuff like that. But this Apple event though, I mean, it seemed a little bit bland for me, I'm not gonna lie. And the reason being is because there wasn't really a lot for Apple to showcase for me to go, yes, I want this now. I want this now. I want this now. Yeah. So like the AirPods Pro, for example, didn't really appeal to me. The reason being is because I'm not really somebody that's going to go out and buy the new AirPods. Yeah, I don't really. I'm not really an earphone person. I'm more of a headphone person. So, you know, if it was like the AirPods Pro Max, which were like a headset kind of thing, then yeah, I'm all for that. I'm definitely all for it. I would definitely be there going, yeah, this is great. I do know, and I have seen it advertised before, that their AirPods Pro Max is so expensive. I'm not even kidding when I tell you this, guys. It costs around about £500 for headphones, which I find is just absolutely insane. Absolutely insane for someone to buy headphones. You know, £500 is really, really, really expensive to buy headphones. But, yeah, so the AirPods Pro 2 didn't really excite me that much. You know, and it's funny because I didn't really hear a lot of what was being announced at the time, because as all the AirPods Pro stuff was being announced, outside my window there was a massive storm going on. So couldn't really hear much about any of the announcements that was announced really for the AirPods Pro. But it does sound, I mean, obviously, judging by everyone wearing AirPods and stuff like that out in public, they do seem to be a very popular, they do seem like a very popular earphones anyway. So I can see maybe people might do an upgrade. If they feel like they need to upgrade their earphones, their AirPods, then they'll do that. If not, they'll probably be happy with what they've got and they'll continue using them. The Apple Watch Series 8, again, not something really I'm interested in. I feel like with the Apple Watch, you do have to have an iPhone for. I do feel like you do have to have an iPhone for the Apple Watch. Otherwise, it just makes it feel, I guess you could say, it makes it feel like the Apple Watch is just very redundant unless you have an iPhone. But again, I mean, there is some really cool features coming to the Apple Watch Series 8 though, which I've listed off earlier in the video. You know, obviously the blood oxygen measurements, that's going to be very important. The sleep tracking, and there's ECGs as well that you can do through your Apple Watch with the Series 8. There is just a really wide array of stuff that you can do with your health, or to improve your health, should I say, as well, with the Apple Watch Series 8. You know, it does always amaze me to see what Apple are doing with the Apple Watch, and I love to see what they do get up to. And it's amazing to come back every year in September to find that there's been more lives being saved thanks to the Apple Watch as well, which is just really incredible news. But yeah, again, for me, the Apple Watch would be a no-no for me. However, though, right, it's not all doom and gloom from the Apple event for me. No. The iPhone 14 Pro and the iPhone 14 Pro Max look really, really good. Okay, admittedly, they've got the same screen size as the iPhone 14 and the iPhone 14 Plus. But they have got that pill-shaped notch now, which they've kind of used as sort of a way to kind of display stuff. So, like, your notifications will be displayed next to the camera. So, you know, you'll be able to gain access to, like, your music library from Apple Music, and other stuff like that. You'll be able to gain access to all that stuff through that dynamic island that is housed next to the selfie camera on the iPhone 14 Pro and Pro Max, which I think is really, really awesome. That is probably one of the biggest features for me from the iPhone 14 range. I love the fact that every year Apple bring out these brand new smartphones and their low light is just getting better and better every year as well. You can definitely tell that. So, you know, I mean, yeah, that's probably the only thing though that would really interest me in getting an iPhone 14 Pro or Pro Max. Admittedly, when I have owned iPhones in the past, I've never actually been able to kind of go for like the Pro or the Pro Max or anything like that, because they're more costly to have and stuff like that. But you never know. You know, I mean, my phone that I've got currently at the moment, which is nothing to do with Apple at the moment. No, it's nothing to do with Apple. It is, as they say sometimes, the dark side. If you're an Apple fan, you will say this is the dark side. But I do have a Samsung, So, any Apple fans out there that I've just upset, that I've crushed their hearts, I do apologise. But at the moment, I do have a Samsung. If in the future I was to maybe upgrade my phone and go back to Apple, then I would definitely maybe look at... I wouldn't so much look at getting, like, the newer generation iPhone. Like, you know, obviously by the time my phone... my current phone that I'm with at the moment comes to an end, we're going to be looking at the iPhone 16, possibly the iPhone 15 will still be about. So, yeah, so maybe the iPhone 15 or iPhone 16. I probably wouldn't go for the iPhone 16, because that would be the most up-to-date model. Plus, I'd be waiting an extra couple of months to get the iPhone 16. Depending what the iPhone 15 looks like next year, I mean, maybe that could be a possibility. But again, it's all to do with the pricing and whether it's in my pricing range. If not, I could just easily stick with the iPhone 14 Pro or iPhone 14 Pro Max, and it probably wouldn't make much difference. Unless the iPhone did have a major overhaul redesign of the entire iPhone itself next year, then yeah, I wouldn't see no reason why I would really upgrade in a couple of years' time to the iPhone 15 or 16. If I could just get the iPhone 14 Pro or Pro Max, and it would just be the same thing. So yeah, so there we go. There is that. Buddy, come here. Come here, boy. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come on. Come here. What's this? He's camera shy, that dog. That dog is very camera shy. He's looking at me now as if to go, what are you doing, human? But there we go. So I'm going to end this video here. But a massive thank you to all my viewers that have joined me live. And a massive thank you if you have decided to give this video a watch in full. Feel free to leave a comment in the comment section down below, and feel free to subscribe to me to become a Steve. Of course, your next YouTube video is going to be coming out at midnight UK time on Friday the 9th of September. It'll be Steve's Summer of Gaming. I'll be playing another video game on my Xbox this week. And of course, I will be back with another live video on Friday the 9th of September. Live from 6:30 PM UK time. I'll be talking about Disney Plus Day, revealing all the announcements from Disney Plus Day, and I'll be giving you my thoughts on the shows and movies I've also watched on Disney Plus as well, as part of Disney Plus celebrations. But from me though, it's goodbye. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in my next YouTube video.